Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I am the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Welcome to the TezDown. It's your boy Tez. It's a special weekend. This is the last live broadcast that I'm going to be giving you guys before we do our live show in Darien, Illinois, in Chicagoland this tomorrow. So thanks to everybody who's been supporting, and thanks to everybody who's been coming out to do it. I appreciate you guys for being here early. Passports Go was in the building. What's up, Passports Go? Nice to see you in here so bright and early in the morning. I appreciate it so gratefully. It's actually almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we got to get this show on the road, guys. And we don't seem to be having too many technical difficulties today. And I'm really glad about that. I know you guys probably are too. But let's get rolling. Let's move the stuff out the way so you guys can see everything. Hey, what up, Tristan? What up, Tristan? How you doing? How you doing? Passports Go said, we lit tomorrow, y'all. Conversation with Soft Rain is in the building. She said, what's up, too? What's up, Soft Rain? How you doing? TNJ88, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Nice to see you in here. We have touched down in Chicago. Yes, you have TezDown in TezLand. Yes, you have. Welcome to Chicagoland and welcome to the TezDown. So before we get going, there's a reason why they touched down in Chicagoland. I'm about to play it for you guys right now so you guys can go ahead and see exactly what we're doing. So if you guys are in the Chicagoland area, make sure you show up tomorrow.
In any type of way, that's a parlay you could take to them. Having that aura, I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cold under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular, everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort, no box left unchecked on the checklist, no stone left unturned. Mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't.
So you guys are now seeing what's going on. Let's see if we can roll that back just a little bit so you guys can go ahead and screenshot that if you guys don't don't have tickets yet, or if you're still interested in coming, you don't know exactly where to go. We're going to be in Darien, Illinois. That's Darien, Illinois. You guys can type that out at Q Bar, and we're going to have a very good time. We've been planning this for weeks, months. You know, some people might say this is years in the making. So I got a very special video that I'm going to play for you guys. This is a behind the scenes recording, and also a practice session for the man, the classic codes B class, who's going to be our headlining performing artist tomorrow night. This is going to be fun, y'all. Let's go ahead and listen to what Classic had to say.
Singles of soulmates. Here go a little sample. Let's get it. Yeah, I came up now, get what I like. Come to the pot, get the pick of my slice. Know it's a car when I step outside. You better be happy you're taking my type. Know that you broke if you know you can't fight. You don't wanna throw no lefts and rights. Move down like a hawk, I can take it in stride. I know when a dog don't bite. I know when it's really a wolf. She ain't yours if she can get took. Don't be no fishing, but stay on the boat. I feel like I'm on a hook. Taking your queen cause you move like a rook. I just play by the rules, I ain't make up the book. Yeah, I just play by the rules, I ain't make up the book. I step in the room, I'm having it on. I see all the work in here, taking a look. I'm taking a glance, I see what I like. If it look like it's like, if it look like we good, put in the work to become a man. Now I'm having my way as I should. I like a sophisticated with an edge. Like she read, but she from the hood. Like she smoke, but not from wood. Like she dope, but be in the crib. Ain't got a...
All right, guys, y'all need to show up to get the rest of this. Y'all need to show up to get the rest of that. I know y'all thought I wasn't gonna do it that way, but y'all knew I wasn't gonna play the whole thing for y'all. Y'all need to show up tomorrow. Y'all need to show up tomorrow. As y'all can see, I've gone ahead and taken care of clean myself up. I was looking kind of rough for the last couple of days, but I did it on purpose. I wanted to be perfect for tomorrow night, as perfect can get. You know, I want that to happen for tomorrow. So you guys go ahead, get your tickets. Make sure that you guys tap in with the Raw Society Coalition. So if a lot of people have been asking, are we going to live stream it? No, No, we're not live streaming the show. No, the live show that we do is for y'all to show up and y'all to be a part of that in its exclusiveness in its entirety. So you guys can subscribe to the Raw Society Coalition channel. You maybe you're gonna get some clips. Maybe you might get some, but we haven't done the show yet, so we don't know what the clips are gonna be. So you'll probably get a little bit of that, and be on the lookout for the next show. The next show is going to be somewhere in Georgia. So you guys better get used to follow us because we are officially on tour. You tell them, Sovereign, we are on tour, 8 p.m. Y'all get in there, 8 p.m. The lights are going to turn down low. I am going to recluse myself. I will be seeing some of y'all beforehand. Maybe not so much after, but I will be seeing some of y'all beforehand, and I'm going to make sure that it sounds good, it looks good, it feels good. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You can't fail. You can't fail when you look this good. You really can't. And I'm talking for me and the entire constituency. I'm talking for all of us. You know, not just myself, but I'm talking for all of us. We all are trying to make this thing happen and trying to make this thing wonderful and make this thing beautiful. And I think that it's going to be a good time. So I want you guys to go ahead and take care of that. And let's get started on our first thing today. It's Black History Month, everybody. It's Black History Month. So in honor of Black History Month, I got a little bit of something for you. And I'm gonna play this. This is Innovations in Black History.
Going to be a racist, then you should be a true racist and not use anything or be involved with anything that was invented or created by blacks. Do you want a list? The ironing board, the refrigerator, the baby carriage, the shoemaking machines, the traffic signal, the incandescent light bulb, the folding bed, the mailbox, air conditioning, elevator. You want me to go on?
This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything.
We? We.
So that's just a little icebreaker into Black History Month. Thank you guys. Happy Black History Month to everybody. Everybody, not just us black folks. Happy Black History Month to everybody. Yeah, I know everybody's going to be getting upset about certain terminologies here. Are you talking about black people? Are you talking about Americans? We're just talking about melanated black folks from African ancestry in general. Okay, it doesn't matter if it was 1,000 years ago, if it was 400 years ago. I don't care if it was last week. All right, we're celebrating all of the history. Stop being like that. It doesn't help anybody when you're like that. So we're gonna do that today, and then we're gonna start getting into. We got a lot today, so we're gonna be moving quickly, y'all. I know y'all are probably used to a lumbering pace that I normally go at, but hey, I got to hit it hard today. It's already 1 o'clock. That means I only got like another 90 minutes in here. If I make it the whole 90, we'll see, but we're going to try to make something happen today. So let's just get going from the very beginning. All right. We got a video, and we're going to start with some news, guys. I know everybody's not happy about the news. But we have to start with the news because this is our country. That was Black Innovations in Life. You guys got to see all the different things that black people had invented. And if you didn't know that black people invented those things, it would behoove you to go and do some searching on Black innovations and Black inventions and for everyday life in America and abroad. It would do us all some good. So we're going to move on to the news, though. And in the news, we have Pam Bondi commits perjury in front of Congress.
I'm going to show you 2 photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you are allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that we redacted the victim's
Because you were following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients like former Prince Andrew. Last July, You closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and stepped before
I agree with you.
You
I'm
twice.
reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree
mentioned-
with you. I agree with you. During the
You not hear
Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files.
What's up,
Merrick
Roxy?
Garland
Roxy in the
dropped
building.
ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that?
Trump. I want to move on to another
Can I answer
question.
your question about protecting?
You answered the question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all
blah,
over the
gay
Epstein
sex,
files,
blah, blah,
like
Congress.
former Prince. Here's the video.
It's a circus. It is a circus in there right now.
Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please
that
stop the
he
clock. Mike,
stop
sign
the clock.
the legislation.
Time.
This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to take my
ridiculous.
time.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from
Just blah, blah,
a witness
gay
who
sex,
called the
blah,
FBI's
blah,
National Threat
Congress.
Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a
I
crime.
believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and the officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized this operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing
Time of the
concludes.
gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not
can
ask a
respond.
question,
He
Mr.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just
Madam
ask
Attorney
lips.
Going
I
after
did not
Donald
ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is starting to get crazy. And I'm not gonna play too much from it. If you guys want to go check it out, they did this yesterday. I didn't get to talk about it yesterday, but they did this yesterday, and there's a whole lot of lying that was going on. They got exposed and got called out. So there's perjury in there. But we're gonna get into our show today. We're gonna get into our show. That's all we got for the politics news. Everybody doesn't want to hear about politics, right? Every time I start talking about politics, all I hear is
blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
all right, I get it. I totally understand. Nobody wants to hear about what's going on in Congress.
Just blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
Yeah, nobody wants to. Okay, so we're gonna do something. We're gonna do our show. We're gonna do our show today. All right, let's do it. It's time to talk about interracial love. Interracial love, y'all. What y'all know about interracial love in this Black History Month? Yeah, what y'all know about interracial love in this Black History Month? A lot, not a lot, a little bit. Does anybody date interracially in here? Does anybody exclusively date interracially in here? Anybody? I just want to know. You know what I mean? I gotta know. So we're gonna talk about that first. That's gonna be our first thing that we're gonna talk about today. Is it okay to have a preference? That's the big question. Is it? I'll come back to the answer to this question at the end of the show. Why are these files important? Came from Classic. They're important because these are the people that are making rules for everyone else. That's really what it comes down to. The people that are making rules for everybody else are the ones that are breaking all of them and not going to jail. You know, if you have a job to do, especially if your job is the attorney general, which is the head lawyer of the United States, you should probably be doing your job as the head lawyer of the United States. And I don't know, locking up people who are guilty, especially who are guilty of the type of stuff that they're being accused of. These are all allegations for the edutainment and the edification, the news orient of that part of the show. But we are moving on a little bit. We are down to the question. Now Afro Latina was my thing, but they are bad for me. I'm 100% agree with you. We knew that they were sick, but the rest of the public decided that they want to turn a blind eye to it. Now they can't because it's right in their face. Said, this is America. This is what it is. This is what it is. But they trying to change it, man. For relationships and relationships. And y'all dated people who are outside of your race, who are black specifically. And even if you're not black and you date outside your race, has your partner said the N word around you in any of his variations, and then you didn't like it? I want to know. It's for y'all who have dated interracially or would date interracially, or if you are a person who is of the more vanilla persuasion, and you dated somebody who was very melanated, and they said the N word. How did it make you feel? And also, do you say it yourself? And did you say it? And what happens when you guys come to that impasse? This is the story that's being told right now in this interracial relationship, because a lot of times how this does start is from a fetish. I've never been with a black guy before. I've never been with a white girl before. That's usually how it starts. And a lot of people, they find that, what started out as a fetish, it turned into something that they actually liked. There is cultural differences in how people approach situations. And I think that's what we're talking about. The act itself is fairly similar for most people. There's in and there's out, there's up and there's down, to varying degrees of wetness, as some people might say. And that's what happens. And so obviously, if you find somebody that actually suits you, and then you might say, well, I liked everything about this person on this side, and the culture that they've been in, and the music that they listen to, and the way they approach it, and how they handle it, it's cultural. It is cultural. It is, and it's not just because they are this. That's why a lot of people go for the same type of person from the same demographic, from the same geographical area. Because saying the phrase "I always wanted mixed babies" is it's complicated. It's complicated for a bunch of different reasons. If you're a very dark-skinned person and you got all of the mahogany in you, pause. That didn't come out very good, did it, y'all? It's okay. We're gonna run with it. If you got all the mahogany in you and you're a chocolate skinned person, you radiating, all of that, it still doesn't sit good with me, y'all. I'm just keeping it 100. Just want healthy kids, y'all. Just want healthy kids. I totally understand wanting your kids to look a certain way, but man, at what cost? At what cost? I think you miss your boat when you focus on those types of things for people who right here. Everybody except every person of color except the Asian man has gone on to somewhat agree to strongly agree. I think that most black people, and I can speak from my own experience in interracial dating, most black people do feel as if they are somewhat betraying some of their roots by not finding them a good sister, especially the guys, because we get so much crap for it when we date outside of our blackness, or of our chocolate persuasion, as some people might call it, since we can't talk about any of the colors because that's just how the world is today. I'm gonna do it anyway. Do whatever I want. Oh, sorry, y'all. Do whatever I want. Do whatever I want today. I'm gonna do whatever I want tomorrow. I'm gonna do whatever I want next week. If somebody loves me, they love me, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. And if I love them, there's really nothing that they can do about it. I will say it's harder to date outside of your race, but then again, inside your race is pretty difficult too, because there's a whole lot of expectations that go there. But let's continue and see if they can spark any more debate about this. Hey, I need y'all to do me a favor though. While we in here right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take this away from y'all. I'm gonna take that away from y'all until y'all do me a favor. Right now, I need about 6, 7, 8. I'm not asking for a lot. I need some likes in here, y'all. Go ahead, pop these likes off for me. I need them They help the channel go around. Maybe y'all could pop off a share too while you at it. But it is what it is. Let these people know there's some golden content over here. Some golden content to help you guys out in the afternoon, to help you finish up these shifts that you're on right now. Y'all should definitely be involved with that. So we got some good wholesome stuff going here right now. We did it. We got some. Okay, y'all are doing me a favor. We got some conversation from Classic. He said, Classic said, sisters betrayed us when they decided to be constantly difficult. I never felt bad for being with my little Guadalupe. Don't nobody feel bad for being with their little Guadalupe. Don't nobody feel bad for that. No, nobody does. I understand where the pain and the hurt comes from the inside when you are betrayed by the people that are supposed to love you the most. I totally understand, because we were taught growing up, black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm black as black as strong, black as powerful. Make sure you find you a good sister. Go ahead and make some good chocolate babies. Y'all go ahead, get them in the NFL, teach them to dance, teach them to sing better than Michael Jackson. Teach them that they could do everything in the world. They can become the president if they want to, astronaut, doctor, CPA, don't matter. They could be the CEO of the company. Go ahead and teach them all of that. That's what we were taught. Most of us, anyway. Most of us were taught. That's what we were supposed to do to advance the plight of the colored people. That's what we were taught. Telling y'all what the truth is. Maybe some of the Gen Zers weren't taught that, but just about all the millennials were, and the generations that came before them. There's no discounting that. So, Classic said he didn't feel bad at all for being his little Guadalupe. She was probably bad too, wasn't she, Classic? Not that I'm speaking from knowing, or am I? Am I? Well, y'all make y'all mind up, since everybody got ideas about what I know and what I don't know. Last week, you ain't lying. It just happened to me last week. Of course, they're trying to judge you by who you're dating. Of course, they're trying to judge you by that. What do you care about black folks? You're not even dating one. That's what they say. Unfortunately, that metric and that measurement doesn't add up to what the truth is. Who you're dating has nothing to do with how you feel about your people. That's the truth. Who you're dating has nothing to do with how you feel about your people. It doesn't. But I will tell you, from what Classic said, sisters betrayed me. Patricia betrayed us when they decided to be constantly difficult. I never felt bad for dealing with my little Guadalupe. I would hazard a guess that one of the reasons why is because she catered to you. I mean, some of the conversations that we've had on air, so you guys can go back and watch them to see what he's talking about, so he doesn't have to go over it again. Or, where did you get this from, Tez? Well, it came out of his mouth. I'm only listening to him. He said, you know how I get down, fine shit. That's how it works. Hey, oh, you know what? It does. It does. Being multicultural has lots of benefits. You mean to tell me that I'm gonna be able to go to this barbecue and I'm gonna get tamales and macaroni and cheese at the same barbecue? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm thinking with my stomach right now, but that's just one benefit. But there are others. Being multicultural, being well versed in society, and especially if you travel a lot, is a huge thing. If you can go somewhere and enjoy yourself in the setting that you're in, even if it's not your quote unquote native cultural setting, because you've experienced this setting and you had a good time, and so it creates the serotonin release inside of your brain that tells you, I'm having a great time right now. Now, I know it's deeper than that. So don't bite my head off. Once again, it's what do we always say? Black queens forever. We always say that, and it's true. But also, being able to experience other cultures for what they are is a huge benefit. It's a huge benefit to you. And it enriches you. It enriches all of the ideas that you might have, that you can see it from another perspective. Being able to see from a different perspective, especially on things about race and culture, is an integral tool that you can use to go further in your life and also be very diplomatic if need be in certain situations. I'm not saying that the need for diplomacy is always there, because there are some things that you cannot be diplomatic about. There are plenty of things you cannot be diplomatic about. I myself am very choosy when it comes to diplomacy, and everybody knows that, who knows me. But there are some things that you can be diplomatic about because you understand other cultures and customs. It's the truth.
With the police or something, like with having a white person there. Like,
No, I've never experienced that. I've never felt like them standing up for me when there's a situation going on is going to help me. If matter of fact, I can tell you that every time that someone has stood up for me in a situation that involved another race of people, it's never turned out good for me. I have to stand up for myself. I have to stand on my own 2 feet, and I have to be able to articulate myself in a manner that is going to either one, let me stand up for my ideals, or two, the best you can do is bond me out. They're gonna lock me up. If they're gonna lock me up, they're gonna lock me up anyway. That's just how it goes. So I hope you got bond money. I hope you got access to my bond money. Come and get me. That's just how it works. And if you haven't experienced it, don't try to tell me about it. That's how it is. What are they gonna do? The best they can do? The only time that I think that actually is the case if they're standing up to their parents. If their parents don't like you because of your racial proclivity, if their parents don't like you, then yeah, you can stand up to them based upon that. They can stand up for you based upon that. But what are they going to say to the police? My black boyfriend didn't do nothing. Come on now, don't fall for the okie doke. Now that is something that I can definitely agree with. I definitely felt like an outsider when I've done this. When I've been dating interracially, I definitely have felt like an outsider in some families. But here's the other thing. In some families, I am very included, and to the point of where they love when I come around. They love it. The aunties love it. In this case, it was the TIs. The TIs loved it. The cousins loved it. The uncles loved it. Even the dad loved it. Everybody loved it. The little kids loved when I came around, like just a big, strong dude around doing big, strong dude stuff. And it helps that I spoke the language too. So even the ones that came from other countries that didn't speak English, I was able to communicate with them because, I'm a little bit multifaceted when it comes to those things and not just multicultural. Say stuff like that, it's almost like them saying that they don't support it because it shouldn't really be a topic of conversation. If you really supported it, then we're not talking about it. Oh, he's black. Oh, this guy, he's black. So it shouldn't really be see what I'm talking about? It shouldn't be a topic of conversation. It's like, oh, you got a boyfriend. Good for you. Oh, you got a girlfriend. Good for you. Is she nice? Does she do stuff for you? Does she make you feel like a man? Those type of things that you really want to care about when they're asking you questions, but not she's white, she's black, she's Asian, and she's Latina. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You want them to ask those questions, the right questions. So I kind of can't agree with that one. I will agree with being in a relationship with somebody whose family holds radically different political values as you is a little bit difficult. It's difficult to be around them, and I don't think you should. I don't think you should go around them because hey, you might end up in the sunken place. Y'all saw the movie. It's not just a movie, y'all.
First time we were walking to get food and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents.
I had to go ahead and type some stuff in, y'all. Thank God we back. Thank you. We're gonna move on and we'll talk about that for a little bit. Yeah, so anyway, y'all have no idea the notification that I just got. Listen, I'm gonna go off on a tangent real quick. Listen, I understand that there are some of you watching that do not like the things that I say. There's nothing you can do about it. It took me less than 10 seconds to beat the allegation that you just threw against me, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I played a news clip, and in the news clip, they said some words that you didn't like. That's not my fault that you don't like the news the way that it is, but that's fair use. That's fair use. So in a minute, they're going to get you for you trying to cover it up. What's up, Cassie? How you doing? Nice to see you in the building. We definitely back. So they're going to get you for what you've done. You can't shut me up. You can't take me down. As you can see, it didn't even take me 10 seconds. Couple of key strokes to take care of the business. Just had to go ahead and input a couple of things, got YouTube right back at it, and they let me right back in front of you. No violations. Of course not. Of course not. The stupid reports are going to end, and they're going to start blocking them. They are. All my wrenches, if y'all see some crazy people acting crazy in this chat, just go ahead and get rid of them. I don't have time for the trolls today. You already saw what they tried to do. They tried to stop me. We're going to go right back into something else because they are not going to stop us from doing what we're supposed to do. They're not going to stop us from taking care of our business. They're not going to. And I'm looking at the analytics right now, and the analytics are telling me that I got other stuff, other people that I'm watching that haven't interacted. And I know exactly what's going on. Y'all ain't slick. Y'all not slick. Y'all not slick. They are. You know, they're not slick. They're not slick at all. They think they are, but they're not. They are not. I'm not going. You tell me to stop, you tell me to shut up, my answer is always gonna be
no.
What?
I said no.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Nah, big nah. We ain't going. Yeah, you good. No, it's not you. It's not you. We know who it is. You're a real person. You're a real person. There's fakes, bots, and AIs on here that want to try to take people down because they don't like what I said about their God. You worship them. I don't. You put those people on a pedestal. I don't. I want to see them in jail. Or worse. Moving on. We are right back to where we're supposed to be at. This is going to be about code switching in relationships, y'all. We got code switching in relationships. Let's go ahead and get it.
Whose voice is that? And I said, that's my voice. And he said, is that your real voice? I had been code switching in front of this white man because that's what I naturally do. I don't think you can rest with white people. I don't find rest with with the average white people. I don't think that you can rest with them. There's always a voice that I have to use with them so that they don't think my voice is too aggressive. And this is not something I learned. This is not something any of us, we never sat down and got the lesson that we need to code switch. We simply have had to.
Yeah.
Just to stay safe, to make other people feel safe. Yeah. And my husband was like, that is, and again, this is just like a guy I knew at the time was like, you can use your real voice. If that's your real voice, use your real voice with me. So I didn't ever think about marrying a white man because I don't think that I really did not believe that I could find rest in my home with a white person living in my home. And so the second he said, if that's your real voice, you can use that with me. I was like, hey, well, all right. So it wasn't, hey, honey, you were like, hey, honey, you're home? Like, no, it's,
I'm gonna reveal this really quick before we go back to code switching. Passports Code said that's crazy. They're trying to shadow ban you. They didn't try to shadow ban me, Passports Code. They already did. I've been shadow banned for 3 months. The fact that anybody sees what I'm posting, the fact that anybody gets to see it, the fact that we do numbers in here is all because people want to hear what I have to say. I've been shadow banned for months. I don't come off a shadow ban until February 24th. My account has been restricted since February for the last 3 months. My account has been restricted for the last 3 months, and I'm still doing numbers. And I'm still doing numbers, and people are still watching, and people are still commenting, and people are still subscribing, and people are still here right now for the TezDown. That's what's going on in here. That's what's going on in here. I've been shadow banned already, Sco. I've been shadow banned already. I've already been in communication with the authorities at YouTube headquarters. I've already been in a conversation with Google. They can't stop me. They can't shut me up. I just got to finish serving out this ban, and it was right back on track. And the funny thing about it is people didn't even know. People didn't even notice. It says right here on my page that I'm looking at right now, I am banned until I am restricted until February 24th. That is a shadow ban. And we still doing it. Y'all love Tez. Tez loves y'all too. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the people that keep coming through here. I appreciate everybody on the rewatch right now because I know it's going to be a bunch of y'all because it always is. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for showing up tomorrow too because I'm going to see you all there too. Oh, yeah. So let's get back to the story. He said, Gabby is cool as hell in real life. Very funny. Yeah, man, I believe it. You probably worked with her at one point in time. I know she was out here working for a little bit.
My real voice. Yeah, like, yes, he gets very uncomfortable. He's very uncomfortable with it. He doesn't even he does not say the N-word. Like he replaced nice. Yeah. I mean, like, and I didn't have to. I know it's the bare minimum.
That's kind of counterproductive. Biracial marriage there. That's a little counterproductive.
But like I didn't even have to be the one to teach him not to. He does. He genuinely doesn't.
Well,
he does not. Yeah.
That's so great.
I'm already knowing classic.
Don't give him
feet on the ground,
it's
ear
just
to it
not
too.
being racist.
I'm super angry. I don't even use that.
No. Like not in music. Like he doesn't say it in songs. Like that sort of thing. He never says it. We got married at the kitchen counter over Zoom.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Married at the kitchen counter over Zoom. Yeah.
Wow. Senegal.
Yeah.
Had you ever thought about doing a traditional Senegalese?
Nah. I come from a real family, man. My mom and my dad got married at a courthouse so that my dad could get a green card. And so that my grandmother told my mom that she was never going to get married because she was fat. And so she married my dad to prove her mother wrong. So this is like, I don't come from weddings and, love in that way. And so I've never thought of my wedding day. And my mom was sick when we got married. So I was like,
I mean, that brings up an interesting part of this conversation. Like how many people that aren't used to something because their family never did it? If you're not used to something because your family never did it, you're obviously not going to put very much stock in it. So while all these people, all these red-blooded Americans of every race, color, and creed are planning their super wedding, somebody who was already rich, already famous, already got a little bit of power and some clout to them, has been in Grammy-winning movies. I mean, Oscar-winning movies, has an Oscar herself. They didn't care about any. They got married over Zoom. They got married on Zoom. How many of y'all would get married on Zoom if it was the person that you really loved and that the person that you really wanted to marry? Would you marry them on Zoom? I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll get married at a McDonald's if it suited me. If that's the case. If I need to get married and I want to get married and it's time to get married, anywhere will do. Anywhere will do. Cassie says she did a courthouse wedding. I mean, you got to go to the courthouse anyway. You might as well get married there too, right? Do you need 700 people watching you get married? Do you need to spend, $40,000 on a wedding, or can you spend $40,000 on the down payment on your house? She said, but also had a court divorce. All right, Cassie. All right, we see you. I spent a couple more minutes with her, and then we're gonna move on, y'all.
It's going to be more sad and it's going to be a lot more work than anything. And so we just it was the pandemic. Yeah. And we didn't want to, and I don't like the word fiance. I don't like it. I don't like the word. I don't want to call him my fiance.
So you went from dating boyfriend to
we were fiancés. Oh. We got engaged in like October and we got married in March. I just don't like the word. I didn't want to keep referring to him as my fiance. I said, let's just go ahead and get married and you can be my husband.
Yeah. And your husband, he speaks up for you too. Like I know he's out there a lot, going after trolls. You get some people trolling you and stuff like that. Like, how does that make you feel when you see him like puffing his chest out there like that for you?
he's new here.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're new. I've been, you know, like my job is face forward because I'm an actress. I'm face and body forward. And it's been like that since I was 20. The movie came out when I was 26. So it's like 16 years of that. Like, you know, and so I'm used to people making fun of me and it doesn't hurt my feelings. But my husband is really, really protective of me. And I'm like, I don't care what they say. I don't care. This is just a person in a box. The internet's not real. Like none of this is real.
Yeah.
But he gets aggravated, and especially now that we have kids, because people say wild about your children too. And I just a lot of times he's doing all that kung fu fighting online, and I am blissfully unaware of it. I'm air frying chicken nuggets.
80% of the trolls are bots, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are just bots, and
They are.
like, get caught up and go, "Oh, really? But what about if I smack your mom in the?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a bot."
Yeah.
And you look, and there's 0 posts.
Yeah.
And
Or
it's just-
sometimes they
People
appear
pretend
to be
a
real.
black
They'll
person.
just put random pictures in there.
Yeah.
If you argue with a fool from across the street, no one will be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I don't get into it.
That's a big one right there. So a lot of times when we're having arguments with people, or especially when it's about somebody that we're dating, they don't know who's wrong and who's right, you know. But I mean, unless we got some more comments on this, we're gonna move on. Y'all ready to move on? Y'all ready to move on to another part? Black English is hard. I'm ready to move on. Black English is hard. And a lot of times what happens especially in this country is you get told that you speak a certain way, whether they say that you're speaking like a white man, or you're speaking outside of your race, or you're trying to sound too country, or you're trying to sound too this and too that. And let me tell y'all, as we have just found out, code switching is not something that is taught. It's more or less a learned behavior that you pick up for your own safety and for your own good, and also to blend into environments a little bit better. Now, obviously, being black, you're not going to be able to, or any color other than the predominant color in the country, any country that you go to, you're going to try to sound a little bit more like them. You're going to try to be more pleasant and non-threatening is the important one, especially if you're someone who's big and strong and powerful. Physically imposing is the word that I was searching for. So found that word a couple minutes later. But you want to sound, and you especially in broadcasting, especially in broadcasting, there is this thing called the Midwestern dialect. It is the neutral dialect for America. So if they want to see an American in a movie, they want to see what your general Midwestern dialect is. And if you can produce, even if you're from another country, if you can produce the general Midwestern dialect, it means that you'll probably get more jobs, because the way that you speak is closer to what everyone in the country can understand, which is the general consumer of the media that they're developing. Now, where this has bit American black people in the foot is we kind of have our own way of speaking. And a lot of the stuff that we say doesn't necessarily translate or make sense to people who didn't grow up speaking that way or talking that way. For example, there are words and phrases like "it be like that" that can mean multiple different things. Man, I got to go to work today. I'd be like, man, it be like that, because you got to go to work. Or you lost your job today. Man, it be like that. That, hey, everything was going great, and then all of a sudden, boom, something bad happens. You see what I mean? It be like that, man. It just be like that. Now, if you're talking to somebody from another country who also speaks English, even, they're probably not going to understand what you mean when you say that. Now, Chicago especially, we have a lot of different things that we say in Chicago that a lot of other people don't say, even other black folks. So that's just what it is. And if you don't pick it up, just ask. I ain't got no problem explaining nothing to anybody that doesn't understand what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, or why I'm saying it. Now, there are times when I pull back a little bit, and most of the time it's unconsciously, as we've heard from other black people. We pull back and we move more closer to the standard way of speaking and less away from our general vernacular that we grew up with or that we use to speak to each other. Now, there was a whole video that I had planned, and I don't have time to play it today. Maybe I'll bring it back. So if you guys get in the comment section after this video airs and you ask me to play the video is basically a video about what happens to a black vernacular in America when white people started using it. How we stop. For example, black people stopped saying the word lit. It was a good time before, the Gen Xers picked it up. And when they started saying it, we kind of didn't want to say it anymore. And now the same thing goes with the word Riz. Riz is one of those things that we don't want to say that too much anymore. Clocking it, period, all of that stuff that the ladies came up with, the chick lingo. There's so many things that are no longer cool to say because the mainstream is using the words. So you no longer feel like you're a part of the club of people that say these types of things. Now, I understand it. Nobody wants to feel left out. I get it. Nobody's saying that you got to be. I'm just saying that don't be surprised if, you come up on some black lingo and they stop using it because they hear you using it. It's how it's kind of always been. But we got some European people that are going to give us a little bit of a conversation about what's going on, and we're going to break this down. Let's shout out to ABZ Mike and the people that he has got going on here. Let's add them to the stage. Let's get it going, guys.
Obviously going to find out. Smash this like button, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, well, he said
6K.
smash the like button.
Really appreciate
Subscribe.
Every single one of you guys that's been showing love, man. So I'm continuing to do so. Enough talking. Let's dive in there.
Who are the descendants of formerly...
No, wait, let me take that all the way back. Don't want to miss a single second.
Here's a really spicy claim. Black English, the language variety indigenous to the United States, developed by Black people who are the descendants of formerly enslaved Africans. That's more complex and more sophisticated than the academic English that we all learned in the classroom. Stick with me on this one.
Really?
I recently gave a keynote speech at the American Association of Electronic Reporters and Transcribers, where I talked about accents and non-standard dialects and all the challenges that those pose for transcription, and especially for human transcriptionists who want to be better than AI. And I made that claim. And it seemed to surprise people. And I get it. You're probably still on, wait, is he talking about Ebonics? And sort of, I'll explain that too. But whatever you call it, a lot of people have the stereotype that it's lazy, that it's bad English, and that it flouts or completely disregards the entire concept of grammar. And that's wrong. That could not be further from the truth, which is a whole lot weirder than you probably know. So stick around and I'll explain why exactly I say Black English, African American language, Ebonics, is more grammatically complex than you might think, and more sophisticated than it's given credit for. I'm Dr. Taylor Jones, and I'm finna blow your mind. I'm Dr. Taylor Jones, and this is Language Jones.
Language Jones.
This is going to be interesting, though, Mike.
It's very interesting.
I have no clue.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Ideas opened.
Way more grammatically complex and subtle and nuanced, and yes, sophisticated than people think. But that's not the reputation it has. So first, why the reputation? And then I'll tell you all about the more complex grammar, which is really cool. Before I continue, I just want to add that I'm working on a book right now about how Black English has shaped all of American English, but its impact is in many ways invisible or even actively erased. If you're interested in that book, and you should be, please leave me a comment saying so, maybe even ask me what you wish you knew about it. That way, publishers and agents can see how much interest there actually is, and I'm more likely to get it to market. First things first, teeny tiny history lesson. America has a complicated history with race. That's an understatement. Anybody watching this probably knows that what is now the US had hundreds of years of chattel slavery in which Africans and later their descendants were enslaved in the American South. And yes, other groups were enslaved and have been throughout history, but in the US, the Irish ran away and then claimed they weren't Irish and nobody could tell. And the indigenous people ran away and then got really good at staying away because they already knew the terrain better. They were here first. Slavers very quickly settled on bringing Africans who, if they even survived the trip, were in a foreign land, stood out wherever they went, and were thrown in with people who didn't speak the same languages. And that's kind of an important part here. You have lots of people who are native speakers of Bantu languages.
Well, that's the big one right there. If you guys really understood how big the continent of Africa is, you'd understand why everybody didn't speak the same language. There's probably 100 different languages that people were speaking that they got brought over there. He said code calibration. What's up, Jay Zilla? How you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. And So obviously a new language was able to be introduced because nobody spoke the same language.
But who are forced to communicate using either the plantation Creole or some form of English. Now's not the time to go into all the detail about the linguistic arguments about the genesis of African American English. And in fact, we can never really know because we have insufficient and wildly unreliable records. It's a hugely contentious issue in linguistics. And
That's a
that
good point.
unreliability of records is kind of the point. The US has a mainstream culture that stereotypes Black people as lazy and unintelligent. And it comes in large part out of our history of slavery and Jim Crow. Unintelligent is a justification for forcing people to do manual labor they don't want to do. And lazy is one way of looking at their resisting literal slavery. You go pick tobacco in Maryland in June and get back to me about how enthusiastic you are about doing that all day, every day. Until after the Civil War, Black Americans were denied even basic education, albeit with some exceptions. And it wasn't until the middle of the 20th century that they were guaranteed equal and not separate access to education, at least on paper. But also, we tend to overstate the importance of formal education and academic norms around the right way to speak. Any language you could name, including the fancy educated ones like Latin, were developed by illiterate people, literally, since language change is driven by kids. So, over the last 400 years, Black Americans have developed a distinct language variety. Not all Black Americans, obviously, and in fact, more than one variety. Gullah and Black English are not the same. Ebonics actually historically referred to all the different language varieties that came out of the New World contact between West African languages and European colonial languages.
All of them.
So technically, Brazilian Portuguese, Haitian Creole, and Gullah are all Ebonics too. But the point is that it is its own distinct language variety.
Hold on. Just yesterday, the question was brought up. Why should Black people care? Why should Black people care about other cultures' language verbiage and their win? And I'm going to play it again for you right now. So for all of you brothers who had the question of why Black people should care, this is why.
Any language you could name, including the fancy educated ones like Latin, were developed by illiterate people, literally, since language change is driven by kids. So over the last 400 years, Black Americans have developed a distinct language variety. Not all Black Americans, obviously, and in fact, more than one variety. Gullah and Black English are not the same. Ebonics actually historically referred to all the different language varieties that came out of the New World contact between West African languages and European colonial languages. So technically, Brazilian Portuguese, Haitian Creole, and Gullah are all Ebonics too. But the point is that it is its own distinct language variety. Maybe a dialect of English, maybe a decreolized Creole. As I've said in other videos, it has rules. This means that it's not just breaking the rules of classroom English. It's a language.
Where are my Louisiana Black folks at? How you doing?
Language variety with highly regular, highly systematic rules. The rules are just different from classroom English. And that's where we get to my claim that it's more complicated and sophisticated. I'm not saying the dudes in the corner outside in Harlem where I live hanging out and smoking are necessarily more sophisticated by our cultural standards than the Ivy League professors teaching down the street at Columbia in their tweed or whatever. But I am absolutely saying that their language use is grammatically more sophisticated than the English being taught to those Ivy League legacy students in their first year writing classes. So hear me out. A lot of you like my channel for language learning and linguistics content about other languages. Many know that I'm big on thinking about how languages treat tense, aspect, and mood. If you haven't watched my videos about these, all you really need to know is that we abuse the word tense in English to refer to all three. To grossly oversimplify, tense actually refers to whether some shape of the verb indicates when something happens. Aspect indicates whether it's thought of as ongoing or completed, and mood refers to something that indicates in some way how the speaker feels about what they're talking about. Some languages have only tense or only aspect. So for instance, Mandarin Chinese has aspect, but not tense. Biblical Hebrew had aspect and not tense. Modern Hebrew has tense and aspect is a bit iffy. In English, we have modal verbs like you should do this or you must do that, but other languages can modify basically anything. So you have things like the subjunctive that indicates doubt about the proposition. It also does other stuff that's more structural because languages are messy. So the point here is when I say Black English is more complicated and sophisticated, what I mean is that the grammatical system of tense, aspect, and mood in Black English makes more and more nuanced distinctions. Where it gets confusing is that it does so with basically the same words, just used differently. Dr. Arthur Spears calls these camouflage constructions. So let me give some examples. The most famous in linguistics is what is sometimes called habitual be. I actually don't really like the name and prefer the less used invariant be because it has more functions than marking habituality, but that is a main one. So if I say it be that way, that doesn't mean the same thing as it is that way. When you add the word sometimes, both end up meaning the same thing, but it be that way on its own has built in that it is that way sometimes and not necessarily right now.
See,
These
that's
can lead to
crazy because
miscommunications where people who don't
that was
speak
my
Black
example
English
too.
think that they understand what's being said, but they're missing some of the nuance. And instead of recognizing that, they usually think that the Black English speaker is just using bad grammar. So if I say, I'm going to call him at work, and my friend says, nah, he don't be at work, I might understand the social communicative function of that speech act and choose not to call him, but I might miss the nuance. He isn't usually at work, so it's probably not a good bet, but my friend is not.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I kind of agree, but I don't know, like, when I listen to, like, Black Americans, but, like, I don't know, it's just far more interesting, right, to listen to them compared to like someone that speak, like, for example, like Queen's English, because
what he's trying to say, what I'm trying to like, I agree with what he said as well. But he's saying like a lot of Black American language or the way they speak has multiple meanings, which is quite fascinating. He's saying,
yeah, the same words can mean multiple different things.
But if you don't know how to read it or figure it out, it just seems like nonsense to you. It just seems like grammatically wrong, which is what he's trying to say, which is so fascinating.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to tap in with ABC and Mike, you guys can do so. You guys can also tap in with Linguistic Jones. Get that in there. We are moving ahead with our show today, guys. You know what time it is? Do y'all know what time it is? Y'all know what time it is? I know what time it is. It's time for stretch. All right, y'all. Take those hands. Let's get these joints rubbed up. Let's go. Stretch. Get that left arm over that right now. Give me 10 seconds. Let's count to 10. You can do it silently. Switch it up now. Let's go. Everybody's favorite part. Let's get this neck moving. Back out. Yeah. Turn it around. Let's go. Give me a couple deep breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in one more time. Shake them arms out. Let's go. Clap it a little bit. Everybody needs a good stretch. You guys should stretch multiple times a day. And so you don't end up folded up on the street. So if something comes up on you, don't get knocked out with it. No, you don't need that happening to you. No, you don't need that happen to you. You don't want to be all bent over. As soon as you walk into the room, they're going to hit you with the, oh, no, we don't like him. No. Everybody just decides they don't want to be around you anymore. So it's time, y'all, for our random video of the, not you having me looking crazy, stretching at my desk in my office. Oh, yeah, stretch at your desk in the office. You have good health, and that is how you maintain that proper blood flow. Now y'all feel good. Y'all feel loose. In the right way. Yeah. Y'all feel good. I feel good. Y'all all stretched out now. I hope so. Tez stretched you out. Gonna give y'all TezDown syndrome, via your eyes and your ears. That's how we got to do it. Let's let's go ahead and move to our part of the day now, which is it's random story time, y'all. That's where you guys get to go ahead and ask me questions in the chat, because random story time also includes one of the best portions of the show, and that's chat Q&A. So go ahead, ask me questions. I have time to answer your questions today. We're going to do our random video right now, and we're going to see what she has to say about it. Remember, the topic of today is interracial dating, and we haven't watched it yet, so it's going to be an authentic reaction. Let's go, girl.
Shared that I prefer to date black men. So the question I get a lot is when did this start, Stephanie? The easiest answer I give is when I was 17, because my oldest is biracial and that's when I got pregnant with her. But the real answer is first grade. Story time. My first boyfriend was in first grade, and he was in fact black. We were besties. We were gonna get married. Clearly he married someone else. How dare you, Shannon? Growing up, middle school, high school, I just always found black men attractive. I also get asked if I grew up in like a predominantly black neighborhood, and I did not. In fact, I lived in a town in Texas where the black community was definitely a minority, like 6%. In elementary school, middle school, my closest friends were black as well. It's not something I can explain in words, or I even try to, because I don't need to. I don't need to be able to have tangible words on why I feel comfortable around black men and women, or why I find them attractive.
Because they're sexy as fuck, Karen, okay?
I like the end. All right, yeah, I like the end. If you guys missed it, I'll play it one more time.
That I prefer to date black men. So the question I get a lot is when did this start, Stephanie? The easiest answer I give is when I was 17, because my oldest is biracial and that's when I got pregnant with her. But the real answer is first grade. Story time. My first boyfriend was in first grade, and he was in fact black. We were besties. We were gonna get married. Clearly he married someone else. How dare you, Shannon? Growing up, middle school, high school, I just always found black men attractive. I also get asked if I grew up in like a predominantly black neighborhood, and I did not. In fact, I lived in a town in Texas where the black community was definitely a minority, like 6%. In elementary school, middle school, my closest friends were black as well. It's not something I can explain in words, or I even try to, because I don't need to. I don't need to be able to have tangible words on why I feel comfortable around black men and women, or why I find them attractive.
Because they're sexy as fuck, Karen, okay?
All right, y'all. So I got a treat for y'all. I got part two. We're gonna have to go ahead and tap in with part 2 to see what else she had to say to Karen, because I wanted to hear it, and it's my show, so that's what we're gonna do.
2 of why I date black men. Now, a lot of this is going to be very personal to me as a redhead. Having red hair, freckles, fair skin, these are all things that I've been teased for growing up, right? For whatever reason, black men and women have loved it about me. They appreciate it. It seems to be something they're attracted to. I have always felt more comfortable and gone along with black men and women. It's just a thing. Black men seem to appreciate my body type a lot more. Some racists want to be like, oh, it's just because they allow you to be fat. No, I can be skinny, and your girl is still gonna have hips, thighs, a butt. I can't help it. I've never had them ask me to dye my hair. I've never had them ask me to tan, like I have an option of tanning. Anyway, it just seems like I'm accepted for me in whatever form that is. I feel safe with black men. A lot of you got really onto me not talking about BBC as one of the reasons I date black men. And it's not, okay? I did say intimacy, I did, but not every black man has a BBC anyway. But I would never date an entire race for the hope that they're packing. That is just weird. However, I will say the bedroom activities with black men and women have been top tier. I feel like I'm on my body. I feel like they are interested in me enjoying the experience as well. Sometimes, guys, we're just attracted to what we're attracted to. I don't sit there and try to dissect why do I like this person kind of thing. Especially initially where you don't really know them, but you do know that there's attraction there. It's not a fetish. It's I like talking to this person. A few people have brought up that it might be the fact that black men hit on me more than white men, and that is true. White men do still hit on me. I know some of you guys are so pressed. Your fellow white guys still like me, even after knowing that I date black guys. But usually black guys are the ones that hit on me the most, and it's always been that way. I must have the look.
Well, we've heard from her. We got a question. our random video of the day. I guess I could say everything that she said I've heard before. I've heard people say this when they've been asked this question. It's the same thing. For the most part, I've been told that black men are more accepting of people the way that they are, and that's just how it goes. So we got a question from the chat and chat Q&A. It's what's your proudest moment in life for yourself? We can go with the obligatory answer first. I would say one of my proudest moments is just every time I see my daughter succeed. And I get to watch her do things that she was taught and grow as a person. But that's the stock answer, right? That's the answer that is it's the truth. But if you're talking about me personally, something that only has to do with me, I would probably say my proudest moment. I don't know. I kind of don't sit in one spot when I have a success. I succeed and then I move on to the next success. I don't really sit in one. I've won championships, and the next thing that I was thinking is where do I go from here? Which doesn't mean that I wasn't happy about it. Doesn't mean that I wasn't appreciative of being in the position to win. It just means that I know that there's more after this. When you know that there's more, you don't get stuck in that one thing that you accomplished. I've done a lot of things in this life, and I'm proud of just about everything that I've done. I think if it's not a specific moment, I'm most proud of my ability to overcome all of the hardships and failures that I've had. And I'm most proud of my ability to learn from my own mistakes and also to admit that I'm not always right. I think that's a big one for a lot of people. So they don't necessarily, I don't see that often. You know what I mean? So I'm very proud of my ability to admit that I'm not always right. And, but therein is a desire to learn how to be better, how to be right, how to be better, how to work, how to do things in a better way. If there is a better way, So I'm very proud of that. But I'm proud of myself. I believe in myself. I believe in my ability to get things done. And I can't apologize to anybody that thinks that that's arrogance. It's not. It's just I know what I'm made of, and I'm an overcomer. I'm a conqueror. I'm all of those things. I'm more than a conqueror. I get it done. What else can I say besides I'm proud of it? I'm a person that gets it done. I get the job done when it's time to get the job done. I don't like jobs that are unfinished, especially if it's my job to do. I'm a finisher. I'm a finisher. That's one. There we go. That's the term. It has been great. You guys that are in here right now, if you were in the area, and even if you're not in the area, I want you to pay very special, very close attention to what I'm about to put up on the screen. It is the live show that we're doing in the next couple of days. Actually, tomorrow night. Actually, it's going to be at 8 p.m. It's the Raw Society Coalition, y'all.
I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. Having that aura, I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cold under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular, everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort, no box left unchecked on the checklist, no stone left unturned, mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank, southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't.
So I would appreciate seeing the people there that are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I believe we are fastly selling out. There's not very many tickets left, so you would behoove yourself to get your ticket online. I'm not saying we're going to turn you down at the door. You just might not have priority seating by the time you get there. This is the Raw Society Coalition, and that is the show that we're putting on tomorrow night. They are in town in Chicago right now, so y'all have a good time for the rest of the afternoon, and we get into business tomorrow. So you guys can find the Raw Society Coalition on all platforms and services at the Raw Society Coalition. We have the guests and the hosts and the members of the Raw Society Coalition, the classic codes. These are all YouTube channels that you can find and to continue listening to all of us. Souls of Thought. Souls of Thought also is the main host of the No Middleman podcast, along with his co-hosts, Uncle Plug TV and the lovely First Lady of the RSC, Conversations with Soft Rain. And then you got the bottom, the wild card, the MVP, the TezDown. That's me, y'all. And I want y'all to make sure that you guys screenshot that so you can go ahead and give all of them a follow. We got to get these numbers up on the channels. And so you guys might ask, what does getting the numbers up on the channels? It allows us to get ad revenue and super chats because none of this is free and none of this is cheap. So at the bottom right here that you have scrolling, there's ways for you to find me. You guys can find me on Cash App at hashtag Tezzy Shay, and Zelle at the oneballer24@gmail.com. All the socials are Soul Reaper 24, SOL like the sun, Soul Reaper 24. You guys can find me there. Let's go ahead and run these numbers up. We will be getting unshadow banned soon, and hopefully, if we can get to 500 subscribers, we're just about at 300. Guys, I think I need 2 more to get to 300 subscribers. By the time we get to 500, we can start getting this revenue in there. We can bypass all the Cash App and the Zelle and get that super chat button, and then after we get to 500 is the road to 1,000. And I know that we're going to be able to get there. That is the goal for 2026, is to get us to 1,000. The goal for this month and the rest of next month is to get us to 500. But for right now, for today, we need 2 more subscribers. If you guys know some people that might be interested in this type of content or the type of things that I do, check out my library if it's your first time in. It was good seeing you. And I must introduce myself for you. If you're just now getting here, I am Tez. I'm 2-4. This is the TezDown. It's been a good day. I will see you guys tomorrow in a little bit over 24 hours during our live show. So if you guys don't get another broadcast from me, it'll be because we will be live in Darien, Illinois doing our live show. We got a concert by Classic. It's going to be fantastic. B-Class is making an appearance. It's going to be a lightning electric performance. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I didn't even see Ja Rule the last time I went to go see this man. Well, the time before the last time, I didn't get to see Ja Rule because I only came to watch him perform. So y'all are gonna like it. Y'all are gonna have a good time, and y'all are gonna see exactly why he brings the energy that he brings, why I bring the energy that I bring, why Rain brings the energy that she brings. You're gonna see how turned up Uncle Plug can be, and you can see just how much Souls of Thoughts has. You guys need to go in there and check us out, because afterwards we're going to be releasing some clips and we're going to get things done, but we want to see y'all first. We don't know how long it's going to be. All I know is it's going to be epic and it's going to be classic, as some people would say. And if you don't like the show and you tell me you don't want to watch my show, but you like me, I got one thing to tell you. It's not a match. It's not a match. You got to like my show and you got to like me. Until then, until next time, this is the TezDown.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.